Hello, everyone. Welcome to Inside the District. My name is Matt Mazzone, Superintendent right here in Millville Public Schools. And this month, we have a special guest joining us. We have Principal Jason Durham, Principal Holly Heights Elementary School. So he's joining us. So let's start unpacking what's the great things happening over at Holly Heights. And I think first we need to talk about, welcome to the show, Jason.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
And I know you've been on the show before, and we'll talk about that. So how many years have you been in Millville?
So this is 24th year in Millville.
24 years. And prior to being principal, what were you doing?
So I was a phys ed teacher at the beginning of my career for a couple years at Rick Avenue School.
You were a jet.
I was a jet early, the year 2000. And then I transitioned over to the high school for, 14 or 15 years, and then did about 5 at Rick again after that.
Okay.
And then got hired as the vice principal at Holly Heights and now the principal. So that's kind of been the lineage of my career, and it's been a great ride. I love working in Millville.
Yeah, so I didn't know that you started at Rick.
Yep.
Okay. And then, so, I know you did not attend Millville Public Schools like me. I went to Buna.
Yep.
I'm not going to say where you went, but it's
good
pretty
choice.
close.
Good choice.
Pretty close to Millville.
Yep.
But take us through. So you went to that area high school.
Yep.
And while you were there, what made you make that decision that you wanted to get into education?
So when I got into to college, my first year, I was considering going into business. And then I just realized, through sports and through coaching, that I just wanted to be more involved in it. And then I started doing some summer camp things and things with children. So then I wanted to blend the love of the sports with being around kids. So that's where I kind of changed my major and decided to go into education. And I'm glad that I did.
Yeah. So you went to Salisbury?
Yep. Salisbury University, Eastern Shore, Maryland was a great school. We had a lot of fun, enjoyed the education there. I thought it was a good education. We learned a lot. And I think it prepared me to be able to become a teacher.
And did you play football out there?
I did. I played football there. That was the only sport that I played. In fact, that was the only sport that I played in high school as well, was football. So that's kind of been my love. It's been my thing.
Right.
We had a lot of good times.
So then you graduate from Salisbury University, and then you get a job. So you've been in a leadership role in Millville for quite some time. So I know you're, new as a vice principal, now extremely new as a principal. But before that, you were leading, and that was as a coach. So talk about that experience. How long have you were the head coach here?
Yeah, so I came in 2000 to a part-time teaching job, and then Tony Schrace was the athletic director, and he turned into full-time the next year. And then when I transitioned over to the high school, I started coaching as an assistant coach for multiple programs, for football, for girls basketball, for baseball. So I got a lot of experience there. And then in 2008, I got hired as the head football coach. I did that until 2014. When I went back to get my master's and things to become an administrator to start that process. But there was so many great memories throughout the course of coaching, so many relationships with kids and the other coaches. That's definitely a highlight point of my life. And maybe someday in retirement or something, maybe it's something I can get back into.
Awesome. And I think there's so many similarities between coaching a football team or coaching any team for that matter, and then leading a school. Yeah,
I think that a lot of the lessons that you learn through athletics, through playing, and then of course through coaching, especially when you're in charge of a program, teaches all the things of accountability, managing time, the importance of relationships. And just, building a program is very similar to building what you want to see inside of a school.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
And I remember when I was coaching at Buna, and I was like, I did it pretty much the same thing. I wasn't a head coach at Buna, but then I took that step into administration. I remember all the coaches were like, what are you doing? Why are you leaving coaching? Do you like administration? I said, it feels like game day every single day, right? It felt like a Friday night every single day in a school. So you have to be prepared every step of the way.
For sure. There's a lot of similarities to it. There's a lot of people that rely on you, to be the leader, whether it's in the course of a program or inside of a school. But that's what leadership's about, right? It's about taking those opportunities and making the most of them so that people can grow and get better.
Right. And before we go any further, let's talk about your family, because being a principal, you've been on this trajectory doing great things in your professional life. Yeah. But I imagine a lot of that's because of the support of your family. So why don't you tell us a little bit about your family?
Yeah, so I'll start with my parents. My dad has been a long-time member of the Thunderbolt Club in Millville, went to Millville schools. He owns a tire company, Advanced Treads. Been a great father, perfectly supportive father. My mom worked at Genesis, is now retired now, but she was a great role model for me. Both of them were very hard workers, very people that were diligent about being on time. They were both in leadership roles in their respective jobs. My family now, my wife is a teacher at Child Family Center, Lenore, and my children, Juliet and Carson, go to Millville Public Schools. Juliet is at Lakeside, and Carson's at Rick Avenue. So we've kind of been ingrained into the Millville culture, but they're great. They keep us busy and keep us hopping all the time.
That's wonderful. So what are some of those takeaways that your mom and dad, those values they instilled in you that you're now hopefully continuing that with your own children?
Yeah, I think it's just trying to get them to understand accountability for themselves, for them to explore things that they like and that they enjoy, that they can get invested in throughout the course of their lives. And then just trying to role model for them the same way I felt like my parents role modeled for me and my older brother.
Right. And you talked about like finding those passions. And I talk about what are those passions you have? Because as a principal, you spend a lot of time at school. Right. You're always thinking about, even when you're home, you're thinking about, but you have to have those hobbies or things that take you away. And I imagine a lot of it is spent with your family, with your girls. Yeah. But what are some of those things that you're doing even for yourself? What are those hobbies?
I love any time that I can relax, and the fact that I'm not involved directly in sports, I love watching the sports. If I can get a minute or a couple hours to sit on the couch and watch a game, whether it's football, basketball, anything, I love to do that. I love to go to places with the family. We like walking on the boardwalk in the summertime. We like taking walks at parks, just spending time. As my kids are starting to get a little bit older now, at 12 and 6, they're starting to get to look for things they want to do. So I expect a lot of my time is going to be spent doing the things that they want to do next.
This Carson, is he in sports right now?
He is not yet, but he will be soon.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you think he'll play?
So he wants to play everything. We'll probably start with baseball and go from there, but it's coming soon. He might talk me into football this coming fall, since that's the next thing that's up, but We'll see. I've been trying to balance the fact of the new job that I'm in, wanting to make sure that I dedicate enough time to that. As well as what my wife's doing at her school. So we're just trying to make sure that when we do commit to that fully, we can make sure we get them there and take care of it.
Right. So, I have my wife and I have 4 little girls, and soccer is everything.
Yeah. All the time, right?
All the time.
Yeah.
So we're enjoying, and also the girls are at Starbound Gymnastics. Oh, that's great. I love even the coaches there, how they push the girls. So
yeah, cool.
It's good stuff. So growing up, you did some motocross?
Yeah, so that was my hobby before football came in high school. We grew up racing motocross kind of all over up and down the East Coast. We, in Virginia, New York, Tennessee.
Really? All right.
Everywhere.
Were you pro?
And it was a lot of fun. No, amateur, but pretty high level. Had I continued with it, not gone to college, and I may have ended up in that spot. But it was great family wise too. That's another thing I think that builds a culture of the family. We get in the motorhome every weekend. We travel somewhere, so you have time to learn that. And you mentioned about leadership and the aspects of coaching and playing sports that were so great, but there was also a benefit of an individual sport like that, where you learn that to take accountability for yourself. If you crash, if you fall, if you make a mistake, you win or lose, it's on you. So having the benefit of both that sport for many years and then the benefit of football for many years, I think helps to blend a lot of the leadership skills together.
Awesome. See, that's a fun fact I just get to learn about you. I didn't know you were a motocross
It's an expensive hobby.
Is it?
A fun hobby.
But tell me it's a hobby that's not expensive. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
So I love gardening. But my wife is like, do we have to continue to spend this much money? I'm like, we need all this stuff. So I call myself the suburban farmer.
Interesting. You have to get us some pictures of your grounds work.
Yeah, but I don't have a tractor. It's a lawnmower that I'm pulling things with. So, all right, let's get into it a little bit. So before, talking about, just like you even spoke about football, you brought up Coach Serace. We talk about legacy here in Millville. And now that you're the principal at Holly Heights, a lot of history over at Holly Heights. So let's look at it when it opened up. So you can see on the screen. So it opened in 1975. And, last month we had Silver Run here. And Silver Run, when they opened, it wasn't on time. But fortunately with Holly Heights, it was on time. But they did have something pretty interesting. So they had a little dilemma when they were opening. Did you read the article?
I did not. So fill me in on the dilemma.
So Miss Finney updated me a little bit. So as they were in the summertime ready to open the doors for the first time, it had vandalism. So somebody was pouring concrete into the air conditioners. So I always think like in our, every day we're faced all these different challenges. So imagine being the new principal, getting excited to open a school, and then you learn that someone was going around vandalizing your brand new school, pouring concrete into air conditioners.
Yeah, that's an amazing story, and it's a definitely an interesting fact about the school. And no, I can't imagine being in that situation, wanting to get started and being stuck or delayed.
That's not happening anymore. We can't have any of this.
We need the cameras out there to make sure things are right.
And, so we're talking about 1975, and we're talking about air conditioners, right? Pretty timely. So we have an HVAC construction going on right now. We're going in the phase 2 of it at Holly Heights. So we'll have all new heating and air throughout the school, and that will be done by September.
Yeah, that's been a great process so far. I mean, it's gone very smoothly. It's been a 2-year process. The workers have been very respectful and hardworking. It hasn't impacted negatively any of our functions. Our nighttime functions have all gone off without any issues. So I can definitely say that part's been positive up to this point.
Yeah, and I'm excited for you because when you look at your principal leadership, a big piece of that is the operations and management, and you're going to learn a whole lot about it this summer as they're really going to start the big phase of that project. Yeah. So you get to be hands-on, watching it every single day.
Yeah, that's definitely, and that's also an area I definitely can learn in as far as not only the operational management, but just some of the technical side of it, because some of those things were not my forte of fixing things or things of that nature growing up. So it'll be interesting to see that process finish up this summer.
Right. And another fun fact, so when Holly Heights opened up, so it housed 950 students.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, and right now, how many students are at Holly Heights?
About 480-ish.
480.
Yeah. And that's a lot. And so 9-something is definitely a big school.
So I want you to go back and think about, like, how would we be able to fit 950? And I'm not saying we're changing any plans here. We're not transitioning yet, right? But 950 students.
Yeah, I think class sizes would be high. And then as far as, I don't know what, how many children were in Millville at that time, but they're definitely, to have 950 of them at one school is a lot. They were probably different grade levels at that time.
Up to 8th grade.
Right? Up to 8th grade.
Up to 8th grade.
Yes.
And Millville, it's a little different now. All right, so let's look at Holly Heights, the vision and mission, because everything, like when we talk about leadership, like we have to have that clear communication. What's that path to our success? So share that with us.
Yeah, I mean, our vision deliver an exceptional experience to the students and families of Holly Heights. That's what education is about. We want them to experience being having positive interactions with each other. We obviously want them to learn the curriculum and the content of everything that is shared with them. But we want them going away from Holly Heights as they go into middle school prepared, and we want them to feel like they had a positive experience and something that they appreciated. Right. And as far as our mission, we have a lot of descriptive words in our mission, but we want kids to come out of it being respectful, caring, trusting, tolerant of others. We're in a diverse community. We want to embrace all those differences that we have, and we want our kids to be able to carry that, beyond Holly Heights.
And I can tell you, so the activities that you're implementing daily, weekly, that are happening at the school ties directly into your vision and mission. And so let's talk a little bit about the Hawk Pride.
Yeah. So monthly we have a Hawk Pride assembly that has Citizens of the Month that the teachers choose based upon character traits of each specific month, a student that has exhibited those, and then they get to be called up by me and receive an award in front of their peers. And it's just a great day. Everybody's there. And then, we have special events.
Talk about that special event that just happened.
Like a fundraising event where they had a pie in the face. So that's me on the screen
getting the principal
pied, and some other colleagues of mine as well. But it's all in good fun, and you hear the kids roar and the excitement that they have with that. So it's all part of the process, and it's a lot of the fun pieces of being a part of an elementary school.
Right. So I know you're. I think it was you that said, "Are you coming to the Hawk Pride Assembly?" And I was there at the school the day before, and I'm like, well, "What's going on?" You're like, "Oh, we're throwing pies at staff," and I'm like, "I'm not coming." I'm like, because I know you're going to try to set me up, and you're going to try to throw a pie at me. But you did say you weren't. But I did come right at the end, so I wanted to make sure I was able to see you get pied.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming to see that take place.
Because I was a principal a long time, and I've been pied many, many times. I was turned into a human sundae, all those things. But I think it's perfect that you get that opportunity now.
Yeah, but I think we also want to consider expanding fundraisers, and the superintendents, assistant superintendents might be a valuable thing for the school.
That was good. Yeah. Another fun activity that happens at Holly Heights is the trunk or treat.
Yeah, trunk or treat takes place obviously at Halloween time, and I'm proud of it because of the input of the staff. The staff does a great job of decorating cars, and they're so excited, and they're competing. We have a competition of who gets the most votes, so the parents and the students are voting on the car that they like the most. And they get very competitive, which is nice to see from the staff, and very creative. So it's just one of my favorite nights. It's all about fun. It's all about families, and just a great opportunity to see people go through there. And it's very well attended. I mean, we have hundreds of people that come through there each year. So it's definitely a good thing.
And I know like Mrs. Wheeler, Mrs. McCarthy, they are very competitive. So the two phys ed teachers, I know they won it last year. They had the Dunkin' Donuts theme.
Yep. Yeah,
were they giving out Dunkin' Donuts?
Multiple themes. No, I don't think they were bribing that day, but they definitely played the theme fully up, and there's all kinds of things. There's music, there's bubbles, there's video stuff. There's we had a group that became like a live roller coaster the one year that was very creative. So we have a lot of neat things that the teachers do.
Right, and I can say, talking to families in Millville, they're so excited about Holly Heights and all the activities and how you're always opening the doors for them. So they just feel like there's so many great activities. And I mean, that aligns to our what we call PBSIS, so Positive Behavior Supports in Schools. So we've been working with Rutgers University. I believe this is year 2 of it. But a lot of the things, even now, we're just putting it into a name of Rutgers as they host it, and they offer coaching. But a lot of these things have been in play already. So why don't you tell us a little bit about those PBSIS events? Yeah,
the first thing I need to say is that it's a total team effort. And from Bob D'Amica, who is our vice principal, does a great job, and Megan Rosado, who is our PBIS.
Amazing.
She's just amazing.
Yeah.
The work that they do to be able to incentivize our students to do great things is just outstanding. And so some of the events are things like we've had glow parties, board games, the Grinch movie, Valentine's, sing-alongs. The Hawk dollars are at the core of the program for incentives, so they can use those to purchase items from a cart that we take around periodically as an incentive. They can spend the dollars, and they can use them now to get into those events. And that the events are a thing that was done years ago, but we brought those back this year that they can use their money to get into those. So the kids are really excited about saving up their money for those events.
Right. I love it. And I think last year I I lost to a couple of the kids with the Jenga.
Yeah. Our kids are competitive too. It seems to be a theme at Holly Heights. Yeah.
I'm just so appreciative. These are the things that you're leading at the school. So thank you. Keep that up. And, let's even talk from more of an instructional standpoint. We've talked about the American Reading Company, we call ARC, right, as an acronym, ARC. But one of the things that it's not just about what's happening in the classroom, and we're able to blend our reading passion with our families. So talk about the reading nights that we host.
Yeah, so literacy nights, and again, kudos goes out to Nancy Gandy, who's a big part of that, and setting that up for us, and our staff that volunteered to stay. And we had some instruction about ARC. We started out with that with the parents to give them some information about the program that they might not have known. And then they broke off this year into escape rooms where they had ARC-related activities to do to try to get out of the rooms, and the parents and kids, it was nice to see them working together for that common goal to try to bring some fun to the education that they're doing, and to help them to embrace the ARC program. And we want parents to be partners in the fun things. We also need them to be partners in the academic side of things and the behavioral side of things. So between PBSIS and then of course things like the literacy nights, we're hoping to get the whole commitment from the parents to be a partner.
Great. And I just want to say you're doing a phenomenal job, Jason.
I appreciate you saying that. Thank you very much.
And I look forward to growing with you for years ahead. And so you heard a lot of wonderful things from Mr. Durham, school principal, but we're not done yet. So we're going to come back and we have a special teacher joining us, Teacher of the Year. So come on back. Thank you, everyone.
Family owned, service oriented. Since 1960, Allen Associates has been a leader in insurance and financial services. We provide insurance services to roughly 300 groups, ranging from 2 to several thousand lives in the private and public sectors. With more than 60 years of experience and a staff of highly trained and dedicated professionals, Allen Associates is noted for its ability to build strong, long-term relationships with our clients and the communities we serve.
Allen Associates is the place to see. One-stop service, the best that can be. Whether finance, insurance, health, or medical, Allen Associates will make life so practical.
Call Allen Associates today at 856-692-2250. Allen Associates, your complete health and financial services in Vineland, New Jersey.
Hello, my name is Craig Atkinson, and I am president of the Millville Thunderbolt Club. The mission of the Thunderbolt Club is to enhance the athletic experience of Millville High School student athletes. We provide a myriad of services for these athletes, including end-of-year recognition banquets for all teams, stipends for teams and individual athletes, college scholarships of $35,000 per year, meals for special events, as well as hosting the Mike Trout Millville Thunderbolt Club Golf Tournament and the Millville Sports Hall of Fame. Please visit our website at millvillethunderboltclub.com for additional information.
Welcome back to Inside the District. My name's Matt Mazzone, Superintendent of Schools right here in Millville. So the first segment you were able to hear from Principal Jason Durham and hear about all the wonderful things happening at Holly Heights Elementary School. Now, the next segment, we're going to move into talking to one of the phenomenal teachers, and we have Taylor Toscano joining us today. So welcome to the show, Taylor. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. So Taylor is a second grade teacher at Holly Heights. As you can see with her smile, she has a lot of energy. She's been smiling, laughing. So we're going to have a little fun right now, Taylor. So take us through. So when were you hired here in Millville?
I was hired here in Millville 4 years ago.
4 years ago?
And I started at Bacon School.
Oh, I didn't know you were at Bacon. Okay.
So I started teaching kindergarten at Bacon School during the end of COVID.
All right.
So I taught kindergarten there for a year. I loved it.
Right.
And then I was moved to Holly Heights, and they told me I was going to be in third grade. And I said, Mr. Barber, you're going to have to tutor me in third grade math because I'm not good at math at all. And then they were like, oh, here's second grade. So now I've been in second grade. All
right.
And I love it.
And I remember the first time I met you, I was in a meeting about PBSIS, and we already talked about what that is. And you are one of the champions of that program. So your energy, I was like, Taylor needs to be on every committee. Right. So I was like, that is the champion for the school. So before we start talking about all the great things that are happening within your classroom in the school, tell us a little bit about yourself. So where did you grow up?
I grew up in Pittsgrove, New Jersey. It's about 20 minutes away.
Yeah.
I still live there.
Pittsgrove, so you went to Shalleck?
Yes, sir.
You went to Shalleck.
I went
and then
to Pittsgrove schools all throughout.
All right, so you're at Shalleck, and it's time to pick a college and that career path. And it's crazy to even say we have to pick a career path that early in life. But take us through that. What did that look like?
So I wanted to be an occupational therapist.
Okay.
And then in my junior year of high school, I had a teacher. Her name was Mrs. Marshall, and she was a social studies teacher. And in high school, social studies was boring to me because I would just sit there. High school was I don't know. So then I had
saying
this
a lot about
teacher.
Miss Michelle. All right. Yeah.
One teacher, Mrs. Michelle, would always come in and she would dress up in a different uniform. So like when we were learning about Civil War, she would dress up in a Civil War uniform. She would stand on top of the desk, and she just made
Really?
it so
This
fun.
is Miss Michelle?
Yes.
Does she want to come and teach in
She
Millville?
retired.
Oh, all right. We can get her in Millville.
So then I was like, oh, you know what? I want to be a teacher. I would love to do that. I would love to engage the kids and make them actually enjoy learning and make
Yeah.
it fun. So then I was like, okay, I'm going to school. I'm going to be a teacher.
Right. And I'm just going to say that is the power of an educator, right? Because you're a role model for someone. You want to be an OT, but then someone inspired you to say, I want to be that as well. So, this is the plug to be an educator out there. So it's a great opportunity, and we'll take you here in Millville. So, and we're glad to have you in Millville for the past 4 years. Outside of that, so I know you were just married, right? Last year, was it?
Yes, I was just married this past August
Yeah.
in Punta Cana.
You got married in Punta Cana?
Best day of my life.
Was it? Well, that's good. And what's your husband's name?
Nicholas Toscano.
Nicholas. And what's Nicholas do? What kind of work's he in?
He is in the heavy laborers union.
Okay.
Right now he's doing like something with gas meters.
Okay. Yeah, good job.
He's in the union. That's all I got.
And right now, I know you're passionate about education, but also that you have 2 little furries at home.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Tell us about your dogs.
I have a Cane Corso Bailey, so she's really big.
Yeah.
She's 5, and then I have a puppy who just turned 2. He's a pit bull, and his name is Banks, and he gives me a run for my money.
Right.
He's just crazy.
So right now, 4 little girls at home, our youngest being 1, and all the girls do, they want a dog. But the boss at the home, my wife, Kate, is like, there's no little dog coming in this house just yet. We're all hands. We're outmanned right now. We're out. We're in what kind of coverage is that called, Coach?
You're in
We're not man to man.
Kind of prevent zone.
Prevent. We're just holding on.
Yeah, hold on.
Right. But maybe as the girls get older, we could bring a dog. But I want a dog terribly. Same with the girls. So hopefully. So tell us about some of those hobbies that you have outside of education.
So I love reading, even though that kind of goes with education. I do love reading. I love snowboarding.
Snowboarding.
My husband got me into snowboarding. It took me a long time to learn, and I'm still learning, but I do enjoy it. Camping, I'm a big camper. I like to go camping, but it's really glamping because my parents have the RV, so I don't camp in a tent.
Okay.
Hanging out with friends, family,
Yeah.
playing with the dogs.
So where do you snowboard? Is it more Poconos or are you going up?
Poconos.
Okay.
We like to go up to Vermont, but
Where do you go in Vermont?
so we've been to Jay Peak, which is
Okay.
right up near Canada border.
Yeah.
So nice.
Yeah. My family's out in Rutland, so near Killington.
Yeah.
Have you been to Pico?
No,
Yeah, it's a nice little mountain
Nick's
as well.
been to all that place. I haven't.
All right. So I know we were talking about reading is important to you. So what's one of your favorite books out there? If you had to pick one book,
I love. Sorry.
what was it?
I love The Outsiders,
Outsiders?
but kids' book, I love The Gruffalo.
All right. The
Have you read
Gruffalo.
The
No,
Gruffalo?
I never read
Oh
the
my
Gruffalo.
goodness. I have like 3 copies. I'll give one to your girls.
Yeah, if you could, that'd be
It's
great.
so cute.
All right, the Gruffalo. And I know, so I know you're in the books because you reference, as we were preparing, you called me. What was the reference you called me?
Edward from Twilight.
Edward from Twilight. So I'm just like, I don't know who he is, but we're going to figure it out.
Okay.
Hopefully that's a positive. So talking about Holly Heights, this year was tremendous for you. You were recognized as Teacher of the Year, right? So congratulations to you on that. And I know there's a great picture right there. Perfect. So in your 4th year, you're already named Teacher of the Year. So that just says a lot of things that you're doing there, and it's being recognized by the staff and the students and families. So congrats on that.
Thank you.
And a lot of fun things. So this spring, we're going to be at a Teacher of the Year recognition, and then we also have a nice luncheon, and that's sponsored by Allen Associates. So thank you to them for sponsoring a wonderful luncheon for all of the Millville Public Schools Educators of the Year. Now let's go into your classroom. Take us through, because I feel your energy. Take us for that experience. So Let's do it. So what's this class read? My Weird School Series.
Okay, so let me introduce I loved Miss Frizzle growing up.
Okay.
And that was always my dream. So when I knew I was going to become a teacher, I knew okay, I'm going to be like Miss Frizzle. So I tell my kids when I start in the beginning of the school year, I was like, as long as you can handle it, I am the crazy teacher. You got stuck with the crazy teacher. So that's what we do. We do all crazy fun things. So they have this book called, it's a book series called My Weirder School.
Okay.
And it's the first one is Miss Daisy is Crazy. So then it just talks about all these crazy things that happen in school, and the kids love it because it's so funny. And it's funny to me, I'm reading it, cracking up, reading it to them. But we just do, I'll dress up and just act out the stories. For math, I'll dress up the word problems and we just kind of act it out. Or I'll be okay, you're no longer Matt, you're going to be 25 cents now. That's your name. So we're going to call you the quarter, and we act out our math problems.
I'm going to say you're awesome. That's cool. So, Mr. Durham shared a story about, he said it was just a Monday, a normal Monday, not a special event or any of those sorts. And he looked in the hallway and there was someone dressed in one of those big air dinosaur costumes. I don't know if it was a dinosaur. And they were moving through the school. So is this a stranger? Who is this dressed like this? And then he found out, he said it was Taylor dressed up like this. What were you dressed up like?
I don't even remember.
You don't remember. So it's just one of those crazy days. So you're bringing that kind of energy to your class on a daily basis. Yeah, I want my girls in that classroom. That's great.
That's the most important thing is the kids need to enjoy coming to school. They need to be, not to say entertained, but they need to love learning. In order to learn, they need to enjoy it. They want to come to school.
Right.
And that's important, especially in the early ages, because you want to let that carry through into their older.
And then, so you bring all that fun, but you're also able to take that fun and make it meaningful. And why don't you talk about how you were able to make the creation of leprechaun traps into that academic piece?
So St. Patrick's Day just passed, and before St. Patrick's Day, that Friday prior, we had read a story about how to catch a leprechaun.
Yeah.
So then the kids did a writing using transitional words that they have been talking about, topic sentences, and they would write how they would go about creating a leprechaun trap. Well, we knew that it was Friday and St. Patrick's Day was on Monday, so we could only use the things that we had in the classroom already. But we could make things. So as a group, they did their writing, and then we all talked about it as a class family to figure out what we could use to make this trap. So everybody worked together for an hour, just creating different things, writing. They had little notes leprechauns, welcome here, or find gold here. And they made little rainbows. We had shamrocks. They had signs going into the hallway leading to our trap. And it was just so great to see them all working together and so excited.
Together, collaboration, problem solving. And then you shared with us today. So today, our students are dressed up for Career Day?
Yes.
And was that tied to anything in specific?
So our final unit in ARC, which is our reading company curriculum, is jobs in our community. So we have been talking about different jobs that are in our community. So we do a career day as an introduction, and we play lots of different jobs-related games, and they do different stories, and the kids get to dress up as what they want to be when they grow up.
Right.
So I currently have a chef in my classroom, an astronaut, a YouTuber. I have a couple teachers, which is great, and they even made their own lanyards, an FBI agent, and it's so awesome to see the kids. They're coming down the hallway so excited to show me, look, Mrs. Scott, this is what I want to be when I grow up. I'm like, that's great. And then they'll get to work on a research project based off of that. So then at the end of this unit, they'll have a little booklet that talks about what they want to be, all the different facts that correlate with that job. And it's really great.
Mr. Toscano, you're doing a great job. Thank you for sharing all these wonderful things happening in your classroom. So I'm going to ask, where do you see, because it's important, you're in this educational field. Do you aspire to be anywhere outside of that? Do you want to go to administration one day, school counseling, any of those? Do you have any plans moving forward?
I love being in the classroom. I am currently getting my master's in reading specialization.
Yes.
Just to help me become a better teacher, I think it would be beneficial. The game plan right now is to teach until I can. I teach as long as I can and stay in the classroom because I love it.
Where are you getting your master's for reading specialist?
Georgian Court University.
All right, wonderful. So my wife is a reading specialist.
Yeah.
So yeah, and that was good. So she was a kindergarten teacher, and then transitioned as a reading specialist in her district. So
That's awesome.
so let's get that, and then we can figure out how we can get you as a reading specialist.
Well, if I don't want to do second grade anymore, too, I do have my middle school cert, so that I was considering middle school social studies. Because I have a minor in
Love
Holocaust
it.
and all.
But I just want to make sure that your future's here in Millville.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, we're going to make sure of that. So,
You're stuck with me.
Everyone, that was Taylor Toscano. Wonderful. Thank you for sharing. So we're going to come back. So you heard all about Holly Heights. Thank you to our principal and second grade teacher for sharing all the wonderful things. But we're going to come back on the next segment. We're going to do our district updates. Thank you, everyone.
Family owned, service oriented. Since 1960, Allen Associates has been a leader in insurance and financial services. We provide insurance services to roughly 300 groups, ranging from 2 to several thousand lives in the private and public sectors. Let's meet the Allen Associates family.
In the hustle and bustle, where do you go? When life gets tricky and you're feeling low, there's a name you can trust, a friend indeed, Allen Associates. For all of your financial needs, from finance to insurance, they got it all. You'll feel the support, you'll never fall. Allen Associates is the place to see. One-stop service, the best that can be. Whether finance, insurance, health or medical, Allen Associates will make life so practical. Navigating life, it's not always clear, but with the right team, there's nothing to fear. They listen and care, they tailor to you. Solutions so bright, you'll always break through. From plans for tomorrow to help today, Allen Associates will light up your way.
Call Allen Associates today at 856-692-2250. Allen Associates, your complete health and financial services in Vineland, New Jersey.
Allen Associates will make life so practical.
Hello, my name is Craig Atkinson, and I am president of the Millville Thunderbolt Club. The mission of the Thunderbolt Club is to enhance the athletic experience of Millville High School student athletes. We provide a myriad of services for these athletes, including end-of-year recognition banquets for all teams, stipends for teams and individual athletes, college scholarships of $35,000 per year, meals for special events, as well as hosting the Mike Trout Millville Thunderbolt Club Golf Tournament and the Millville Sports Hall of Fame. Please visit our website at millvillethunderboltclub.com for additional information.
Welcome back to Inside the District. The final segment will be about district updates. So let's get started. Talk about our school calendar at the end of the year, because I can't believe we're here. So March 17th at the board meeting, we finalized the 2024-25 school calendar and made the necessary changes due to our 2 snow days this year. So winter was pretty cruel to us. So remember, our school calendar is built with 5 snow days included into it. We use 2 of the 5. That means we have to take 3 days off. And that takes us to our last day being Monday, June 23rd. So all schools, we will have early dismissal days from June 17th and 19th. And we are off on June 20th for Juneteenth. So Friday, June 20th. And in New Jersey, that is when it is recognized, the 3rd Friday of June. And then we get to Monday, June 23rd. So everyone's coming back for one day. And that is our last day. It is also a single session day for students and staff. And then we have our graduation ceremony. So getting excited for that as our students get prepared for graduation. Now let's move to our Millville High School Fine and Performing Arts Department, as they're putting on a show worthy of Broadway. So 42nd Street. So join us for this year's production as we tell the story of a young aspiring actress named Peggy Sawyer, who comes to New York during the Great Depression to pursue her dreams and her journey to stardom after landing a role in a Broadway musical. General admission and reserved seating tickets are on sale now at millville.org, and general admission tickets will also be on sale at the door for cash only. So head to our website to get your tickets. Another exciting thing is that we're launching the new online store for Millville Public Schools swag. Take a look at some of those great things. So we are, again, in a partnership with Custom Graphics. You can get a sneak peek now by scanning the QR code on your screen and following the URL you see. The store will be open year-round, so there's no rush. We will be adding specialty items at different times, so be on the lookout for those announcements. The store will offer clothing, hats, bags, and so much more. And you'll be able to customize your order by picking your colors and picking the design you would like. So there may be even more special line of items coming this spring. Now, another important announcement is that we just received the Real World STEM grant. So with that, we are receiving we're awarded a $250,000 grant. So thank you to Mr. Bob Trevelini, our grant writer in the district, who was the lead for that. So once again, this grant is called the Real World STEM Grant, so $250,000, and that is at the middle school, and the grant is going to consist of new furniture for our students in at least 4 of our classrooms. It's also going to be for a hands-on curriculum and also provide tutoring service for our students along with professional development for our teachers. So great grant opportunity. Millville, we were the only district in the entire state that was awarded this grant. So a lot of great things happening in Millville. And now let's get to athletics. So from an athletics update, we have officially started spring sports, and I want to wish the best of luck to our high school teams, including the boys and girls golf, boys and girls lacrosse, boys and girls spring track, boys tennis, baseball, and softball. Also want to shine a special spotlight on our girls flag football team. And with this has been the most recent addition to our spring sports roster that you may not have known about. So we are in the second year for this team under the leadership of Coach Core. They've had a busy schedule ahead of them. All home games will be played on Wheaton Field, and they just won their first game last week. They beat Oakcrest, Coach Core's old alma mater. So good luck to our ladies. Also at the middle school level, I want to wish the best of luck to our boys and girls spring track team and our spring competition cheer squad. Coach Stroop has done a phenomenal job with the 3-season cheer team at Lakeside, and looking forward to hearing more about the results of their upcoming competition in Atlantic City. So go Lightning. Coach Langloy will also be overseeing the girls lacrosse club, and for our middle school athletes in the off season, you may want to check out our new yoga club. And last but not least, from the sports, I want to thank all the head coaches you see here. Also want to thank their team of assistant coaches and volunteers. Every week we put out home athletics schedule on our social media accounts, so make sure you head out in this beautiful spring weather to cheer on our student athletes. And now a few more upcoming events that I want to highlight. So April, as you know, is Autism Awareness Month. Each year, our schools observe this with a number of initiatives, fundraisers, and activities, including Bubbles for Autism events at many of our schools. Bacon Elementary School has their Pizza Bingo coming up on April 8th. And finally, our Millville All-City Concert will take place on Wednesday, April 16th. And this will bring together students from across our district to showcase their talents on stage. So don't miss it. If you can believe it, we are getting closer to spring break. Save the dates that you see on the screen. All schools and offices in our district will be closed from Friday, April 18th to Friday, April 25th. And we will open for school and business on Monday, April 28th. So that was a lot of district updates, but what you can hear, we are moving forward, a lot of great opportunities, a lot of great accolades coming to us right here in Millville, and I'm sure many more ahead. So as we get into these spring months, I want to wish everyone a wonderful spring, hopefully a strong finish to the school year, and we will be back here highlighting one of our other elementary schools. So I can't believe it. We're coming into May. So thank you to everyone. Thank you for the support of our Millville Public Schools, and I look forward to seeing you next month. Go Bolts.
The preceding program was produced by the Millville Public School System in conjunction with Quinn Broadcasting and is available on Facebook, YouTube, and Channel 22.